It's obvious that homemade solutions always beat store-bought ones on price while still getting the job done. But there is one problem. I made my setup 10 years ago. That got me thinking, is my DIY dust collection system actually still one of the best budget solutions? Or could it be significantly improved by some wild budget finds from Temu? For most makers, the first step into dust collection is a basic shop vac. They are affordable, easy to find, and work surprisingly well with tools that don't generate a huge amount of dust, like sanders, routers, and smaller table saws. But there is one upgrade that completely changed the game. A Cyclone dust separator. It sits between your tool and the vacuum, capturing almost all the chips and dust before they ever reach the filter. As the air enters the cyclone at high speed, it creates a powerful vortex. Centrifugal force throws the heavier particles against the outer wall, gravity pulls them into the collection bucket, and only the cleaned air continues into the vacuum. My workshop is, let's call it cozy. It's about the size of a narrow single-car garage, so every bit of space matters. To save both time and frustration, I built a modular dust collection manifold that lets me switch between multiple tools with the flick of a finger. Years ago, I had to disconnect the hose every time I changed tools, dragging it around the workshop all day long. It worked, but it drove me absolutely crazy. Now I simply select the blast gate for the tool I'm using, and that's it. I'm still genuinely proud of this setup. It's compact, modular, easy to expand, and keeps everything within reach. So why change anything? Well, if you'll never compare your setup with something newer, how do you know it's still the best? Because my workshop is so small, I'm sticking with a single shop vac, and the dust manifold already does exactly what I need. That leaves just one possible weak link, the Cyclone I built a decade ago. So I ordered several completely different Cyclone designs from Temu and decided to put them head-to-head against my old DIY version. I picked up two classic cone-shaped Cyclones, a super low-profile design that immediately caught my attention, a dual-stage cyclone with some pretty bold promises, and finally, what's hiding inside this box. We'll save that one for a little bit later. You know how it is when you jump online for one specific thing and somehow end up with a cart 5 times bigger? Yeah, that happened here. I couldn't resist grabbing a bag of different size zip ties, a rivet nut tool, an extra vacuum hose to make switching between test setups easier. I even picked up a fresh filter for a shop vac to make sure the results were as accurate as possible. Before we start testing, if you haven't tried Temu yet, here's a nice bonus. Download the Temu app from Google Play or the App Store, open it and search my exclusive code in the search bar. That will unlock a €100 coupon bundle for your first purchases. I also leave a promo link in the video description. Since all of these cyclones are mounted on top, they need some kind of container underneath. This can be anything from a small 20 liters bucket to a much larger barrel or plastic bin, as long as it is airtight. For my test, I went with a simple and cheap 20 liters bucket. And purely for entertainment purposes, I choose a transparent one. To make this test as fair as possible, I replace the shop vac filter and remove the dust bag. This way I can see exactly how much dust, if any, makes it through the cyclone and ends up inside the vacuum. The plan is simple: vacuum the same amount of wood chips and dust with each cyclone and compare how much gets separated and how much escapes into the vacuum. But before testing the new options, I need a baseline. And for that, my old DIY cyclone gets the first test. Considering I've been using this setup for years, it doesn't surprise me that it handles a large amounts of chips without any problems. It just keeps pulling everything in without hesitation. I actually ran this test twice. The second time, I swapped the bucket for a transparent one because I want to see exactly how the chips and dusts behaved inside the cyclone. The result was actually pretty promising. The cyclone bucket collected almost everything, while the vacuum container was nearly spotless. I'd call that a pretty good start. Before the second test and every test after that, I wiped the bucket clean to ensure the dust collection results were as accurate as possible. Next up are two classic classic cone-shaped cyclones. They look slightly different, so when I ordered them I expected to find some small design details that could affect performance. But after comparing them side by side, the only real difference I noticed was a slightly different diameter of the connection ports. Considering how cheap they were, I was actually surprised that both included the mounting hardware and even a drilling template. Although I'm not entirely sure why would you need one, you can simply place the cyclone where you want it and mark the holes yourself. Since they are almost identical, I'll use one with a slightly larger connection ports for the test. And yes, I probably should have ordered the white version. That way I might have been able to see the vortex effect inside during operation. But performance-wise, I didn't notice any difference compared to my homemade cyclone. The bucket was full of chips, the vacuum stayed clean, and this budget cyclone definitely didn't disappoint. Now let's try something completely different. The low-profile cyclone. Compared to the classic cone design, this one is interesting because it solves a completely different problem. Space. In a small workshop like mine, every centimeter matters. A shorter cyclone means you can fit the entire setup under a table or use that saved height for a much larger collection container instead. But the big question is, does this compact design comes with a performance penalty? And honestly, so far I can't really notice any difference. Looking inside the vacuum, the result looks just as good as the cone-shaped versions. So it seems you can save a lot of space without sacrificing separation performance. The first two designs are probably familiar for most people, but the next one really caught my attention. A dual-stage cyclone. The idea behind it is simple but interesting. The first stage is a low-profile cyclone that removes most of the dust and chips immediately. Anything that escapes the first stage gets another chance in the upper cone-shaped cyclone before reaching the vacuum. And from a design perspective, it makes a lot of sense. If one cyclone works well, should two stages work even better? Well, let's find out. One nice detail is that the second stage is white, so you can actually see the shadow of how much dust makes it past first separation stage. And honestly, I could probably watch this spinning dust vortex all day. Once the vacuum is turned off, the suction disappears, the valve opens, and all the collected dust drops into the lower container. This is all the material that somehow managed to escape the first stage. Let's check the vacuum bucket. And just like the previous tests, it looked almost untouched. At this point, I'm starting to get spoiled by seeing such clean vacuum containers. While all three of these options perform real well, they are mainly designed around 50 or 60mm hose connections. That's perfectly fine for smaller tools and regular shop vac setups, but if you're running a more powerful dust extractor or a machine that produces a huge amount of chips, like a thickness planer, you need something with a much higher airflow capacity. And that's where the final cyclone comes in, the mysterious one from the box. This transparent acrylic cyclone is in a completely different category. It has a large 100mm inlet, a heavy-duty acrylic body, and even comes with a metal dust bucket on wheels. It's also the biggest and most expensive cyclone I ordered for this test. But as usual, you get what you paid for. The larger diameter allows much higher airflow, the construction feels much more robust, and the included 50 liters mobile bucket makes moving it around the workshop much easier. The only downside is that the included bucket might still be a little small for machines producing huge amount of chips. But the good thing is that this cyclone can also be purchased separately and mounted on any of your larger containers. For my test, I'll use the included 100 to 50mm adapter and see how it performs with my shop vac setup. During testing, I accidentally pulled the hose too hard and moved the whole separator closer to work area. Those built-in casters are actually a really nice touch. And I have to admit, watching that dust stream spin inside the clear cyclone is extremely satisfying. All the chips went through without any hesitation. So let's check the vacuum. And once again, a clean bucket. At this point, you and I are probably starting to get used to this view, and that's actually a good thing, because after testing all of these cyclones, the difference between them was surprisingly small, probably within around a few percents in terms of separation performance. One more thing, this cyclone definitely needs to be grounded. The acrylic body builds up a surprising amount of static electricity, and if it isn't grounded, it will happily zap you. So after testing everything, here's my takeaway. If you're tight on space and using a regular shop vac, I'd go with the ultra low profile Cyclone. It performed just as well as the others, while only needing about 15 centimeters of extra height above the dust bucket. If the height isn't an issue, my favorite is the dual stage Cyclone. It might be a little over-engineered, but that's exactly what I liked about it. It looks great, works flawlessly, and air passing through 2 separation stages yes end up cleaner than with a single stage design. And for the big boys running a dedicated dust extractors with 100mm hoses, the acrylic Cyclone is the clear winner. It's the most robust, comes as a complete kit ready to use straight after the box, and gives you plenty of room to upgrade your dust collection system in the future. In fact, if size and price weren't a concern, I'd probably choose this one even for a smaller workshop with a regular shop vac. This was a bit different from my usual build videos, so was this kind of comparison useful, and what should I put to the test next? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.